announcement of BEML. The case for our chat here essentially being that they have entered into a pact with L&T for defense products. Now remember, it's high gestation, but clearly a space that's hotting up when it comes to future investment decisions being made to drive the sector. Of course, BEML also expects to double revenues from the defense sector this year itself. We'll probe a little bit more on how they're so optimistic about that target. They expect the aerospace segment to drive their growth. And it's important to ascertain that in this sort of a demand environment, how they're seeing their order book position pan out. Mr. Deepak Kumar Hota, who's the CMD of BEML, joins in with his sense of how business is shaping up right now. Mr. Hota, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks very much for taking out the time. The company is betting big on defense, and you plan to double revenues from defense in the current financial year. Are you being a bit ambitious? How is that possible? I mean, what is it that you have on the anvil that can lead to such a quick turnaround of investment within the sector?
Well, let me put it this way, that defense is the sector which affords the maximum opportunity, and BEML is a defense PSU, and perhaps we are ambitious because we want to tap on all these opportunities. BEML historically has had a lot of partnerships in all the three verticals that we have had, whether it is defense, mining or rail and metro. Now recently we have signed this MOU with L&T. L&T anyway has been a very natural partner for us. They use our various platforms for their missile launching systems and bridging systems. There are some aggregates of ours that they are interested in for the tank manufacturing. So we found there's a huge amount of synergies between the two companies. We have certain capacities, we could use their capacity for outsourcing, etc., in the tank, in the recovery vehicle space. So this is something that's going to afford us a huge amount of opportunity. The second is we can also access the global reach of L&T for exports. There are a lot of our systems, subsystems, aggregates, as well as products that they are interested in, and there's a market for it in the export market. So that's one. As I had mentioned earlier, in the spare parts, we are hoping to indigenize a lot of spare parts which hitherto were imported, and this is also in line with the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister. Recently, the CPSEs, which is the Central Public Sector Enterprises, we had all met, and there were certain directions given. The vision of the Honorable Prime Minister was basically to increase the geostrategic reach of the CPSEs across, and amongst that, one of the theme was to have JVs and MOUs and acquire new technologies, indigenize, create an ecosystem of MSCs. So this basically what we are trying to do is we are trying to take advantage of the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister. And while L&T is one that you've just heard, I would like to tell you that there are many more that are on the anvil, both in the metro as well as the mining and construction space. So we are ambitious, yes. We are very confident that we'll be able to reach doubling of our defense this year.
Good to hear that, Mr. Hota. And you clearly plan to leverage the Make in India initiative and focus in defense and exports. Tell us a little bit more about this pact with L&T. What does it bring on the table for you?
Well, as I said, they use our vehicles for various platforms for the missile launching systems. They use our vehicles for the various bridging systems. There are some aggregates in the recovery and the combat vehicle, which is the tank, where incidentally I must share with you that the first MBT, the main battle tank Arjun, the prototype had been developed by BEML, and it was trial evaluated as well. But for some reason the production went to HVF. So now with the MBT2 coming in, we are hoping that we will be able to take advantage of this requirement of the Indian Army. By the way, the MBT1, the MRO, the maintenance and repair and overhaul, we have been asked whether we could take care of that, and we have of course said yes. So in the tank and the recovery vehicle and the combat vehicle space, there's a huge amount of leverage, and there's a complementarity of capabilities between L&T and BEML. So that is one, definitely. Second is there are some products that we could co-create through our R&D collaboration. Third, as I said, is we would like to access the export markets. We believe that L&T has a very strong sort of a network across, and they can access the markets better for us. And we are very good at making products. The fourth is that we are looking at overhauling certain defense equipments, both in India as well as abroad. There's a huge amount of requirement for overhauling of equipments in the neighborhood. So we are looking at that.
And we wish you all the very best, Mr. Hota, with your business plans. I'm sorry, we're completely out of time. But thanks very much. We want to understand more about how this pact with L&T works in your favor. Thanks for explaining that.